Hello everyone. So I actually haven't been doing the past few episodes of Outlander, but I would like to talk about this one that just premiered on November 5th. And we basically see Claire going back to Lallybroch, and there's a lot of adjusting to do because she thought she was going to get a little more of a warm welcoming, but turns out that Jenny's very skeptical of her, and she questions, like, why didn't she come back? Why didn't she keep searching for Jamie? She doesn't believe that she would have just left and believed that her husband was dead. And Claire is actually tempted to tell Jenny about the time traveling aspect, but she just decides not to, and so we actually kind of see a big rough patch between them throughout the episode. And one of the major things that happens is, so Jamie's been having a secret and nobody knew what it was unless people have read the books, and I actually spoiled it for myself a while ago. So it turns out that he was actually remarried to none other than Leary, the girl who tried to have Claire tried as a witch and was hoping that she would die in the process. So we actually saw Leary last season in one of the episodes. It was closer to the end of the season. Let's hope not. And basically Leary was asking for Claire's forgiveness, and we pretty much know by this point that Leary just is crazy, and she just does these things to make amends, sure. And Leary kind of had a feeling she would be seeing Jamie again by the end of that episode. So it turns out that Leary had been married 2 times before, and she was widowed with 2 children. You kind of wonder how she became widowed. Anyway, so the 2 girls basically, like, one of them is younger and she really looks up to Jamie, and the older one, like, we actually see a flashback of when they met. They met Jamie before he realized that they were her children, and they basically got him to feel happy again, which that was really a hard thing to do while Jamie was apart from Claire. And it turns out that that happiness is the reason why he was reunited with Leary and decided to marry her. There was really no love between them, just he kind of felt a little more whole raising a family, even if it wasn't really his family, but they still saw him as a father. So it was just something to fill the void, really. So before we find out the whole secret marriage thing, what happens is Claire is trying to regain Jenny's trust, and she knows that it's not an easy thing to do. But it turns out that Jenny is the one who lets Leary know that Claire has returned. And that's actually a pretty big, I want to call it a betrayal, like a sisterly betrayal, because it almost seems like Jenny is choosing Leary over Claire in that moment. And Claire at that moment didn't really know that Jamie was married to Leary, but Jenny claims that she wanted each of them to know what was going on because she was really just tired of all the craziness going on. And she just kind of causes more problems because in the process, at one point, Claire and Jamie are talking outside, and Leary shows up with a pistol. Surprise, surprise. And she's just very upset about finding Claire back, like we really saw when she first sees her again. She just is crazy like her jealousy, rage, and everything just comes back at once. And I feel like Claire really brings out Leary's true colors because she's still the same girl she was 20 years ago. And she's just even more insane because she brings the pistol and she's threatening Claire with it, but in the process she ends up shooting Jamie, who's trying to protect Claire. So that causes, like, Jamie almost to... He doesn't really almost die because it didn't hit a major artery. It was some, like, area around here. But Claire's able to get whatever bullets out of there, and she actually saves him, and that's when he explains to her why he married Leary. And so the point of this episode is kind of to show, like we saw how Claire had her own life and how she had her own family dynamic without Jamie. We kind of get the idea of what Jamie did to have a family, and we see that there was a big part of his life that was even kept secret from us, even though we saw all of the other stuff that was going on. And it's just, it's a big, huge, I don't know what to call it. There's just a big gap that this causes, and Claire is ready to just leave. She feels like they don't belong together anymore, just because time has really changed them, and all these things have happened, and she just can't really grasp why. Like, why is she even there now? But Jamie does reassure her that he loves her and he doesn't want her to leave. And the plan is to get an annulment from Leary, but he's going to support her because that's Leary's request. Yeah, she requests money after she shoots him. She's, like, so crazy. I don't know if we're going to see Leary again. I know she's definitely going to be, like, the background character because I think one of her daughters, I think it's the eldest one, I think at some point she joins Jamie and Claire, and she ends up with Fergus, I think. I'm not positive, and who knows what they'll change in the show. But I honestly don't want to see Leary anymore. I thought we were going to see more of her in this episode, actually. But we ended up not. We just got, like, 2 full scenes with her. Well, 3 with the flashback, but we didn't get too much time with Leary, just her craziness. And we actually do see Ned again, who is the friend that they met back in season 1. He's a lawyer and he deals with all these things. So he's the one who's handling the annulment and all that. So it was kind of nice to see him again. I haven't looked it up yet, but I swear that did not look like the actor that played him in season 1. But wow, he looked, obviously he's supposed to look more aged because it's 20 years, but it really did not look like him. I don't know if you guys know, but I thought it was a different actor. So, but still, it was nice to see his character again, especially since the last time we really saw him was the witch trial. Oh, look at that connection. So, I don't know if we'll see Ned again, but it was nice to get a little cameo of his character even. Another big thing in this episode was young Ian, who we met a couple episodes ago. So he's the youngest son of Jenny and Ian, and I actually really like his character. He's there's a sweetness to him, and I can't talk, and an innocence to him, which is almost kind of refreshing for the show, honestly. Like, I feel like with Brianna, there's some innocence, but she's just a different kind of person, so I just really like young Ian because he's so accepting that Claire is his aunt, and he's the only one in the family that's really shown her kindness. Maybe because he didn't know her at the time, I don't know. But still, it's kind of sad what happens at the end of the episode. So, young Ian gets kidnapped because he goes to retrieve some treasure that Jamie had found. If you guys recall back to when he was in the prison, Ardsmuir, I think is what it's called, he met an older man who was dying, and the man, who was kind of crazy and a little deranged when they met, he mentioned something about treasure and something about a white witch, and Jamie assumed that could be Claire. So that's when Jamie escaped for a moment from the prison, and he actually went to go see what the treasure was and if Claire happened to be where the treasure was, which was on like a little island off the coast. So when he gets there, he doesn't find her, but he finds the treasure. So now, years later, the treasure's still there, and Jamie plans to use that to pay for Leary's requests. And so they send young Ian because Jamie's arm is injured. And in the process, young Ian gets kidnapped by pirates. I swear, bad luck just follows these two all the time. So, I am not positive what's going to happen. I have an idea of where the show's going because I read, like, summaries of the books. But, you know, they're likely to change some things. But what I do know that's coming is that they're actually going to go on a voyage, hence the book Voyager. And that is what the season is based on, so they're actually going to be at sea and they're going to try to rescue young Ian. And this whole situation's really a shame because at the end, Jenny actually does decide to trust Claire again. And she trusted young Ian with them, and he gets kidnapped, and there's just no peace at Lallybroch. Never. So now Jenny can be mad about that, and there goes the sisterly bond they were going to build again. But yeah, it's been an eventful few episodes. Like, we saw Claire and Jamie have their first night together again, which was very reminiscent of the wedding episode back in season 1. And the last episode, we see, because Claire was attacked by a man that was after Jamie, and she accidentally kills him, and that causes a whole riff, and they're just kind of finding their ground, being a couple, and then, of course, the print shop burns down because of another guy that comes to find Jamie and his... because he was doing the whole underground liquor business, so... it causes a lot of problems, and that's why Jamie, Claire, and young Ian go back to Lallybroch in this episode. But yeah, it's just been very eventful, and I'm not sure exactly where Fergus and we met a new character, Mr. Willoughby. I'm guessing they'll be joining them on the voyage. I'm not sure. I hope they do, but I can't be certain. Oh, so let's see. I was gonna say something, but I can't remember. I mean, I'm really liking the season so far. It's very different from what we've seen before. And, like, the first half of the season, it was a whole different atmosphere. Claire and Jamie being apart really creates a feeling of distance in the show, and it was really felt. I could definitely feel it. But now that they're together again, it's almost like old times, but at the same time, it's new. Like, there's a lot going on. And I like all of the new characters, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the season goes. So yeah. And again, I just didn't get a chance to do the videos. I've been busy, and it's just a matter of finding time, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a video for every episode. I might just do a few episodes, or maybe I'll just do the end of the season. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. But I will definitely do a video for the end of the season if I don't do the others. And I also want to... This is just something that's come up for the past few weeks. with the episodes premiering, there's been a lot of complaints. And I honestly want to say that everybody is definitely entitled to their opinion. I understand, it's okay. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like the writers get trashed, the actors get trashed, and it's really not fair. Because not everything can be exactly how people want it, and there are going to be things that are different from the book, and like, I'm reading the first Outlander book, and I'm noticing a lot of differences from the first season. But I like it because it's like I'm seeing a whole other chapter to the lives of these characters, and even if it wasn't included in the show, I kind of like seeing more of their adventures just in my imagination. So, I mean, I can understand when changes are made, and they're not always maybe the greatest changes to readers, but we gotta have faith in the writers and the actors. They're doing their best, and everybody has their own interpretation of it. I think it's phenomenal what they're doing, and that's my opinion. Everybody's entitled, I understand. But I just wanted to get my opinion out there, and I honestly don't like trolls or people who say nasty things. Like, you can have your opinion, but say it in a nice way. Just so there's no confusion or misunderstanding. Because if I was looking at reviews of something I wrote or acted in, it would make me feel awful to see people talking badly about me. And I know I wouldn't be perfect at what I would do, but like, even when I do these videos, I know I'm not perfect. But it's just disheartening to see people say such negative things, and I wouldn't like to see that, so just be mindful of that, and I hope others are mindful of it, because it's just a TV show. We can definitely be passionate about it. I like that the readers are passionate. That's great. But at the same time, let's be nice about it. Just so there's no anger or frustration. And just let's make a positive environment around the show, because the show I was hooked the second I saw the trailer, and just when I see people talking badly about it, it makes me feel bad for the writers and the show in general. So, yeah, let's just try to be positive, guys, because they're working hard. And I just wanted to get that out there, just because it's been bothering me for a while. And I feel like if I can say something about it, I wanted to. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. Alright, I'm going to end the video here, and if I don't see you for the next episode or the next few episodes, you'll definitely see me for the finale. Alright, I will leave you here, and have a nice day.